Confident, vibrant, and quirky with an edge, this is 10 Minutes with Tiffany J. 10 Minutes with Tiffany J features the inside scoop as she juggles the world around her, a 9 to 5, along with a handful of gifts and talents that will blow your mind. All things Tiffany J on her website at MissTiffanyJ.com. Now, let's get into the show. This is a Miss Tiffany J bonus episode. What's up, everybody? It's me, Tiffany J. So I am driving and I have a thought. It's because somebody in my circle is going to be leaving. And this is my professional circle, not my, I don't want to say like my friend circle, like they're not a part of my friends, but they are. So they're going to be leaving. And what I notice is because I've been gone on maternity leave. And what I realize is sometimes when you are not around, your influence or your staying power or your that positive energy that sometimes keeps people going, it causes the light to dwindle. And not that there's anything that you can do about that. That's not necessarily your responsibility for you to keep people uplifted once it's time for you to move on and move forward, right? And so, keeping that in mind, are you somebody that's making a difference? Are you somebody that's setting the atmosphere when you walk into a room, when you step into somebody's life, when you cross someone's path? Are you making such a difference to where it's noticeable? And one way that's very, very evident, I think it was 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago, I think. The timing might be off, but pretty much one of our ministers of music at the church, the Park Church, passed away literally that Sunday. And the phrase that Bishop used was, on his way to worship, he transitioned pretty much into glory, which is such a beautiful thing. It hurt because a lot of us were still grieving his loss, and sometimes still confused. But if you think about it, what a thing. You are on your way to worship, to do the thing that you're pretty much getting ready to be transitioned into, which is, I think, is just amazing. So I would love to hear how that, when I get there. But I say all that to say, like, there were a lot of people in church that Saturday, and then the next funeral service in Buffalo, New York, there were even more people. So just from that alone, the influence that he left, or the impact that he made, was just, and his name is Eric Reed, it was just phenomenal. Like, that was one of the best homecoming celebrations I've ever been a part of. It was amazing, and it lasted all day. Not that was bad, but it was like, I got there early just to make sure, I was there early and got a parking spot, got seating, because I also had my daughter with me. And then, it started at 10 o'clock. So I was there from 8:45, and it started at 10, the viewing, family hour. And then 11 o'clock is when we started officially. And then it was like, it just felt like it was Sunday, like a service. And then we all ate afterwards, and that lasted till about I got home probably like 4:30 or something like that. So I can tell you guys, it was fascinating, it was amazing. And what it taught me was, because everybody kept talking about how the way he raised his children, everybody that knew him knew like where his heart was. And I was like, God, I gotta make sure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, so that, train up a child in the way, they should go. And when they get old, they won't depart from it. I got to make sure that Sonia is there. So the complication that I had from my pregnancy has definitely humbled me and put me in a mindset of, like, everybody, I think it's in James talked or somewhere, I can't remember, about please don't quote me, but it's a thorn in the flesh, where you always have a thorn in the flesh that God gives you so that you pretty much don't get the big head. And in every situation, God's given me something to remind me that he is in control. And so I came on here to talk about impact. This whole maternity leave process, and then even the complications that I had, like, I'm thankful for it because it has humbled me all the more. Like, nobody's perfect. Even if you are beautiful and you're just amazing, you still need to treat people with the utmost respect, because anything can take you out of this world. Anything can happen and cause you to have an ailment, and then your life will be forever changed, or the lives of others that you know around you will forever be changed because they have to support you, or if you are no longer here, they'll have to live on and grieve, like, the memory, you know. So I just want to say shout out to a good friend of mine. I'm not going to, say who they are, but I'm going to miss them. And some of it I do feel, not that it's my fault, but I do feel I hadn't been there. And eventually I felt like they were going to leave soon. Everybody has to move on. But I do feel like my absence has caused a rift. And I hadn't been able to maintain the atmosphere that I pretty much carry with me everywhere I go. It's kind of like a bubble, And so I'm looking forward to getting back to work, looking forward to be that light and that refresher that some people at the job that have been there, that just have been there, through this, I wouldn't say difficult time, but through the time to support me as I left to pretty much have a baby. I want to be able to be that person to bring it back and lift them back up. So, yeah. All right, let's take a commercial break.
Say that you want me. Say that you need me now. Say that you want me. Say that you need me now. Coming up this high, thinking about you. Can't wait till next time. Secret knocks on my door. You the John Doe I've been waiting for. What we gonna do? What you got planned? What's in your mind? Down to explore. This John Doe I've been waiting for. Say that you want me. Say that you need me now. Say that you want me. Say that you need me now. It's funny, it's running into you. Remember last time. It's funny, it's running into you. Remember last time. Now I'm here. What you got plans in your mind? Down for whatever.
All right, good people, we are back. Welcome back. So I had made a mistake. That scripture that I was talking about is not in James, even though there is one in James that I do want to bring up. But the scripture about the thorn in the flesh is from 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verses 7 through 10. And it reads, "So to keep me from becoming conceited because of the surpassing greatness of the revelations, a thorn was given me in the flesh, a messenger of Satan to harass me, to keep me from being conceited. 3 times I pleaded with the Lord about this, that it should leave me. But he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore I will boast all the more gladly of my weaknesses, so that the power of Christ may rest upon me. For the sake of Christ, then, I am content with weakness, insults, hardships, persecutions, and calamities. For when I am weak, then I am strong." And that is in reference to the complication that I had during my pregnancy. And in addition, James chapter 1, verse 3 through 6. "For you know that when your faith is tested, your endurance has a chance to grow. So let it grow. For when your endurance is fully developed, you will be perfect and complete, needing nothing. If you need wisdom, ask our generous God, and he will give it to you. He will not rebuke you for asking, but when you ask him, be sure that your faith is in God alone. Do not waver, for a person with divided loyalty is as unsettled as a wave of the sea that is blown and tossed by the wind." So I'll probably go deeper into those because I have so many thoughts already. I apologize for the noise outside, but let's continue. I want to talk about our third month together. That's Sonia and I. So here we go. This past Saturday, July 15th, Sonia and I turned 3 months old. To think that we've come this far is amazing. Sonia has endured her first set of shots, many trips to the doctor with mommy, and fun times tagging along with Gaga. She's getting the hang of lifting her head and starting to talk. One of my favorite things to do is watch her waking up. It's the cutest thing, seeing her squirm and stretch, coming back to life to say hey to the world she's still getting to know. Sonia was born as a preemie, 33 weeks and 3 days, 4 pounds, 3 ounces. I remember what it felt like, so tiny and delicate. She graduated the NICU, she graduated the NICU when she was just over 5 pounds, and that was in 17 days. Now, I know babies are supposed to grow, but it just baffles me. Each week when she gets heavier and heavier, it's just like, oh my gosh, she's getting heavier. So right now, she's probably like a solid 10 pounds. I cannot imagine carrying her on the inside, 10 pounds on the inside, like some people do, and then actually pushing her out. There's no way. But anyway, I'm glad that she's here, and I'm glad that she's healthy. Our journey wasn't easy, but it's definitely a testament to our strength within. So I looked at some of the paperwork, and here is the cesarean section operative note from the doctor. It's a small excerpt. So she wrote, enlarged uterus with multitude of fibroids compromising almost entirety of lower uterine segment. Uterine cavity was also extremely distorted with irregular shape and innumerable fibroids palpitated within. I hope I said that correctly. Thick adhesions of anterior abdominal wall to mid-uterus. Adhesions means that's the scar tissue that pretty much adhered to the abdominal wall. And then it also says dense adhesions and filmy adhesions to bladder and lower uterine segment. When I had my latest ultrasound after the pregnancy, she was saying perhaps like quality of life, meaning like, going to the bathroom and having to pee often or whatever, not saying it might be compromised, but that may be difficult. Anyway, let's continue. Clear amniotic fluid was noted. The infant's right foot was then delivered through the hysterotomy. I hope I'm saying that correctly, which is pretty much the uterus. The left foot was noted to be abutting the fetal head, and the left foot was bent, and the foot was delivered through the uterus. The neonatal body was delivered, and the baby had a right neutral arm, which was reduced and delivered, means it was like around the head or something like that. The remainder of the infant was easily delivered using breech maneuvers. The baby had decreased tone and gave a small cry on the field. Some kind of suction was performed. I can't pronounce this word. And the cord was doubly clamped and cut. The infant was then taken or handed to the awaiting NICU nurses and taken to the warmer bed. So I wrote, as you can see, the baby girl was scrunched in my uterus with my many fibroids. I don't even know if we would have made it to week 37 as big as she was getting. Like, it just wasn't enough room in there, and I don't even know how she was able to like pretty much move. So the patient, which is me, was counseled that it was unclear if delivery would relieve her symptoms. However, in the absence of another cause, any other cause, proceeding to delivery would hopefully maintain the integrity of my limbs. I had insufficient venous insufficiency within my toes. So we tried to deliver to help to relieve the pain and pressure and then maintain that integrity. So as you can see and hear, the journey to healing is a marathon. And one of the nurses, she was telling me that your birth story is never like what you expect. So remember to be open and flexible. I remember one of my friends, she wanted like in a birthing center, right? And I had just recently saw that she had a C-section. So, I had to catch up with her to find out like, what happened? Okay, so since in these last 3 months, Sonia and I, we've been to church, we've been to the park, friends have visited us, and we've taken a ton of pictures. I got like 1,000 pictures on my phone. I feel super blessed to have her and that she's under my care. I've noted that I'm extra juicy in this stage of my life, aka thick. Some or most people like it. Am I a fan? I could keep some and I could lose most of it. I'm not feeling like myself these days, and it can be tough to look in the mirror, but it's cool. With patience, I'm hoping that once I return back to work with time and the additional movement for 8 hours of the day, standing upright and lifting things, that I can go back to a reasonable weight. I'm currently around 160 pounds. I would like to get back to at least 130. I've maintained 126 for a hot minute. I don't know if I'll ever see those days again, but let's keep our fingers crossed. Right now, it's about time management in my administrative affairs, as far as like paperwork, bills, and getting those things together. I want to focus on establishing a routine for my professional and personal care. Professional meaning my job and all things music, anything that I have to do that is bringing in money. Personal care, obviously, which means self-care, taking care of yourself, facial cleansing, taking care of your hair, things that you wear, working out. We're talking about, I want to focus on drinking water and eating every 4 hours, the same as Sonia. When she needs to eat 3 to 4 hours, I need to be having something every 3 to 4 hours, or at least taking a sip of water. I want to focus on committing to reading multiple books this year. My current read is We Over Me by DeVal and Kadeem Ellis. They're a millennial couple. Their podcast that I listen to is called Deadass, and it has the subway icons K and D, or D and K. I think it's K and D. So I love it. It's really cool. But that's my first read for this year. I have other books that I'm supposed to have read, but I'm not going to worry about what I haven't done. But let's just focus on what I'm currently doing. So that's my read of this year. I want to finish that book. It's a really good read. You should get it. I want to focus on keeping in touch with my support system, and they've definitely been doing a great job keeping up with me. And I am, I can't be thankful enough, or all the more thankful, just touching in with me weekly to say, hey, how are you doing? Because having a kid is no easy, like it's no crystal stair to do. Like, so I appreciate people who are reaching out, people who have kids, people who don't have kids. Like, they truly understand, like, this is a major thing that you have done. I want to focus on taking time to rest, creating a power hour for myself where I do absolutely nothing, or whatever it is that I want to do to pour into myself. I want to pour into myself. This specifically is spiritually, which is spending time with God, so I can really deeper establish that relationship. I want to take time to explore new foods and recipes, and that means cooking. So as Sonia gets bigger and she begins to eat solid foods, I'm also like pureeing food for her, but also creating new things for me, so that when it's time for us to have snacks and then dinner and breakfast, I can create and build a household. You might hear her whimpering in the background. Here, take this. Here, take the pacifier. All right, I'm going to come and pick you up in a second. All right, so the other thing I want to focus on is once I'm good, I want to get back to working out, and I'm going to ease myself into it. I typically do like a track workout as far as ABC skips, and I do some drills on an actual track. So I'll get back to that. I want to focus on writing and making music. I want to focus on smiling because why not? And yeah, so my goal for my website mainly, which is misstiffanyj.com, is it's going to be a hub for all things Tiffany J. So whether you're like an avid reader, you're a listener, you consume music, you buy art, you read my blog, or you listen to this podcast, the entire site is meant to edify your soul. That's the whole thing, really. The bullet points that I listed are meant to be the center of what my main goal is, at least for this year or this next chapter in my life. So if you find me online, but it brings you right here, I hope that you take a moment to go down the many rabbit holes to learn more about me and my journey. This all takes time, and I have to remind myself that Rome wasn't built in a day, and you can only eat an elephant one bite at a time. And too bad you can't see her, but I'm picking her up right now, and we are about to eat the bottom half or the second half of your bottle. All right. It's been a joy, you guys. This has been a bonus episode is what it turned into, but I hope it has blessed your soul, and we'll catch you guys next time. Take care. That was another edition of 10 Minutes with Tiffany J. I hope you all enjoyed yourselves. I know I did. Now you can get more episodes on my website at www.misstiffanyj.com. But don't stop there. Hop on over to the music tab and check out your favorite Tiffany J record, starting with my latest singles, Work For It and Callin' Me, which is on all digital platforms. Also with a bomb video showcase on YouTube featuring the Queen City, Charlotte, North Carolina.